Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the class. How are you all? I hope you people are good and safe at your home. I think you people might got a news the today's fact which is broadcasted in the TV channels that the European country continents countries of a European continent, they have announced for the lockdown. The European continent countries, they have announced for the lockdown again. Why? The second stage, second wave, ಎರಡನೇ ಅಲೆ ಯುರೋಪಿಯನ್ ಕಾಂಟಿನೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ಶುರುವಾಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ there are many countries in the European continent as like we have in the Asia. The Spain is one of countries in the European continent. Spain is already declared the lockdown till the March 2021 in the Spain country. And in the UK, United Kingdom, they have announced 1 month of lockdown. In France, they have announced 2 weeks of a lockdown. In Germany, they have announced 1 month of a lockdown, and in Italy, they are going to announce. So, this all the countries that informs that is second level of the COVID-19, the second wave is very dangerous than the first wave. So, we should have the precautionary measures to be away from all the diseases. We should follow the precautionary measures. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಯುರೋಪಿಯನ್ ಕಾಂಟಿನೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕಂಟ್ರಿಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಲಾಕ್ಡೌನ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಲಾಕ್ಡೌನ್ ಅನೌನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅಪ್ ಟು 3 and 2 months it will be continuous. So that shows the second stage, second wave of COVID-19 is very dangerous, that it can spread through the air without finding any symptoms. Without appearing any symptoms, the people may die. ಅವ್ರಿಗೇನೋ ಗುಣಲಕ್ಷಣ ಕಾಣದೆ, ಕೆಮ್ಮು ಬರದೆ, ಆ ಥರ ಜ್ವರಗಿರಿ ಏನು ಬರದೆ, ಅದು ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಸಾಯೋ ಒಂದು ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ the intensity of this COVID-19 in the second level, in the second wave. So that reason, please become a communicator of the alert among your family and the friends. So inform your family and friends, convey your message to the family and friends about this COVID-19 second wave. Make them to be alert, make them to be safe, and you can save your friends, you can save your friend and family as much you can, is it not? So by this all the message spreading. So please be careful, stay away from all these things. So in the last class, let's come back, and we don't have much time. Let's come back towards discussion about this chapter. So in the last class, we were started to discuss about the government. What is government? So now we discuss about the level of government, is not? There are 3 levels. The government works in a 3 level. One is local level called as Panchayat Raj, Gram Panchayat election ಆಯಿತು ಇವಾಗ recently, is not? So the Gram Panchayat election got held recently. So it's based on this local level, to work in the local level. State level election means state level government. So that state level election will take place once in a 5 year, is not? So that's about the state level. Second level is state level called state government. National level, it's a central government. These are the 3. Then next we'll go for discussion about next concept called as laws and the government. Laws and the government. The government makes a law that everyone living in the country has to follow. Here, the government is responsible in making a law. Who will make a law, sir? In every constituency, ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರಗಳು ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂನ್ಸಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೇನು, ಆ ಒಂದು 10 ಮತ್ತು 10ಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚು, ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಕಡಿಮೆನೇ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಹಳ್ಳಿಗಳು ಕೂಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂನ್ಸಿ. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ತಾಲೂಕು ಅಂತ, ಒಂದೊಂದು ಕಡೆ ತಾಲೂಕು ಇರ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ ತಾಲೂಕ್ಸ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂನ್ಸೀಸ್, ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರಗಳು. ಸೊ ದ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂನ್ಸೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೆನಿ ವಿಲೇಜಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂನ್ಸೀಸ್. ದೇರ್ the many people will stand as a candidates, as a politician candidate there. So one we have to select. ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂನ್ಸಿಯಲ್ಲಿ 10 ಹಳ್ಳಿಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು 20 ಹಳ್ಳಿಗೆ ಒಂದು 4-5 ಜನ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ನಿಂತಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್? ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಅವರೊಂದು ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನಿಂತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ದೆಮ್, ದ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಹೂ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಗಾಟ್ ಅ ಮೋರ್ ವೋಟ್, ಮೆಜಾರಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಅ ವೋಟ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಎಸ್ MLA, member of legislative assembly. You will be selected as MLA. So these MLAs will make assembly. In that, the majority of MLAs who are from one single party, they are considered as a ruling party. ರೂಲಿಂಗ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಮತ್ತು ಅಪೋಸಿಷನ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಅಂತ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ರೂಲಿಂಗ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾರು? ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಎಮ್ ಎಲ್ ಎಗಳು ಒಂದೇ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಎಮ್ ಎಲ್ ಎಗಳು ಬಂದಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ರೂಲಿಂಗ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಒಂದೇ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಯವರು. They will become a ruling party. There they will choose a CM for them, chief minister. Then they will choose a chief minister among that ruling party, and chief minister will choose other ruling parties. So here MLAs, both the opposition party and the ruling party MLAs, they will form a rules, means law. So that's how the law will be created. So that law has to be followed by everybody, every citizens of India. It cannot only make a decision but can enforce it as well. It's not only about the making decision. They can enforce. That means they can give our rights by making a law. They can give our freedom for the people of a state or a country. ಈ ಒಂದು ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಅದು ನಮಗೆ ಬಾರ್ಡರ್ಗೋಸ್ಕರ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲೋಗ್ಬೇಡಿ ಹೆಲ್ಮೆಟ್ ಹಾಕೋಬೇಕು ಹಂಗೆ ಇಂಥ ಬರೀ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಜನಗಳಿಗೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗಮಂತ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಲೈಕ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್. So they can enforce it all well. For example, everyone driving a motor vehicles is required to have a license. Is not any person caught driving a vehicle without a license can either be jailed or fined a large sum of money. Same as the decision that government can take, people can also take some steps if they feel that is a particular law is not being followed. Here the government will take one decision that every people they should every vehicle people who are driving a vehicles, they should have a license, and the bike rider they should wear the helmet. There is a law, rules and regulations. Is not. Suppose the rules has made in the favor of people, is not to uphold the fundamental rights of a people and also to prepare the well future for the people. Then suppose the people are not supporting for that, suppose the people are not obeying, then the people also they have a chance that an example for this given here, if a person feel that they were not hired for a job because of their religious caste, she may approach the court to claim that the law is not being followed. Here this government can make a law and also it can enforce as well. Is not, they can make a law in order to keep a well-being of citizens, further. Is not, and also in order to create a better future of the people, they can make a law. Is not, they are the representative who are being selected from by every people. They have to work for the people. It's their duty, and they will make a law, rules and regulations. And the basic fundamental rights we have got from our Constitution of India. Is not, through the Constitution we got a basic fundamental rights for everybody, every citizen of India. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬ ಈ ನಾಗರಿಕರಿಗೆ, ಭಾರತದ ನಾಗರಿಕರಿಗೆ ಮೂಲಭೂತ ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳು ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ. ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಫಂಡಮೆಂಟಲ್ ರೈಟ್ಸ್, ದ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಫಂಡಮೆಂಟಲ್ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಈಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ, ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಈಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ. ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್, ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಅ ಪರ್ಸನ್ is not getting a job because he is being discriminated based on the caste, based on the gender. ಒಂದು ಹುಡುಗಿಗೆ ಜಾಬ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಓದಿದ್ದಾಳೆ, ಶಿ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಎಬಿಲಿಟಿ, ಶಿ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ದ ಟ್ಯಾಲೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಹರ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಶಿ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಫಿಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಜಾಬ್, ಬಟ್ ಶಿ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗಿವನ್ ವಿತ್ ಎನಿ ಜಾಬ್. ವೈ? ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಅವಳು ಹುಡುಗಿ ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಜಾತಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿದ್ದಾಳೆ ಅನ್ನೋಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಜಾಬ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Then she has a right to put that matter in front of a court. She can approach the court taking it as a complaint. So it's a right that everybody has in the society, in the social life of India. The court can then give order about what should be done. Then the procedures will be there in the court, has to be followed to take a decision, to give a justice, the better justice for everybody. That's what. Then types of government, there are different types of government. Types, now we will be discussing about the types of the government. What are the types of government? Now it's a democratic form of government. What was the earlier form of government which we were following? What was that earlier form of government? It was monarchy. So what is a monarchy, sir? There are different types of government. Mainly two important governments are the democratic form of government and monarchy government. So what is democratic form of government? So earlier the people before the 200-300 years ago, before than that, Peoples were under the control of a king. Whatever the king was saying, it was rules and regulation. It was the law. Whatever the king was saying, it was all law. It was becoming a law, is it not? And they were creating a law along with their royal family, and that law was favorable for the royal family, not for the common people in their territory, is not? ಸೊ ಆ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಥಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಜ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಜನಗಳು ಪ್ರಜೆಗಳು ಕೇಳಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಆ ಒಂದು ರಾಜಮನೆತನದವರು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅವ್ರದ್ದೇ ಆದಂಥ ಒಂದು ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಬರೀತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಅದು ರಾಜಮನೆತನದವ್ರು ಮಾತ್ರ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಕಾಮನ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್? ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಮೊನಾರ್ಕಿ. ಮೊನಾರ್ಕಿ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ದ ರಾಜ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಕಿಂಗ್, ದೆನ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ ಡೆತ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ರಾಜ ದ ಹಿಸ್ ಸನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಅ ಕಿಂಗ್, ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್? Suppose even if you don't have a ability, even if you don't have a skill and the power, then he will become the king. So suppose if he has become a king, and what is the life of others people in their territory, in their kingdom? It will be ruined, is not? So that's one monarchy. Then after that we got many other militariships and dictatorships. We got into that. Now we are in the democratic form of government. So what is the democratic form of government? Can I become the prime minister as like Modi? Can I become a prime minister? He is a supreme power holder. President and prime minister, they are the supreme power holder in India. Can I become a prime minister? Yes, I can become a prime minister, is not? So this is not only me, everybody can become a prime minister according to their ages, after the 18 or 21 year, after the 21 year they can become the particular holder of a power, is not? They can become politician only with the support of a people, is not? Only with the ability and the skill and the talent they can become, the knowledge. If they have knowledge, they can become anything, is not? So these all the rights we have now. We have a power in our hand. I have a power that I can become a prime minister if I make hard work in that, is not? So this all the power which is there in every individual's hand is given by the democratic form of government. ಈ ಒಂದು ಡೆಮೊಕ್ರೆಟಿಕ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೆಮೋಕ್ರಸಿ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವ, ಪ್ರಜನೇ ಪ್ರಭು. ಅರ್ಲಿಯರ್ ರಾಜಪ್ರಭುತ್ವ, ರಾಜ ಆಳ್ವಿಕೆ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದ್ದ, ರಾಜನೇ ಪ್ರಭು. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವ, ಪ್ರಜನೇ ಪ್ರಭು. ಸಿ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎ ಡೆಮೋಕ್ರಸಿ ಹಿಯರ್, ಪವರ್ ಟು ದ ಪೀಪಲ್. So this democracy is nothing but the power is given to the people. Not the power is not lies in any one single person's hand. That's what in a democracy people give the government this power via election, in which the people vote for the particular persons and elect them. In another democracy, people will have to select their leaders. They have to select their leaders because that leader is going to make a service in favor of that people, is not? ನಾವು ಇವನ್ನ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಇವನು ಒಂದು ಲೀಡರ್ನಾಗಿ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಇವನು ನಮಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಚಲೋತ್ನಾಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ನಮಗೋಸ್ಕರ ನಮ್ಮದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಜೀವನ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅನ್ನೋಗಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ವೋಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ? ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಅವನು ಲೀಡರ್ ಆದಾಗ, ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಪೊಲಿಟಿಷಿಯನ್ ಆದಾಗ ನಮಗೋಸ್ಕರನೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅವನು ಡೆಮೋಕ್ರಸಿಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್? ಸೊ ದ ಮೇನ್ ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ ಪವರ್, ದ ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಪವರ್ ಲೈಸ್ ಇನ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್, because they are the selector of they are the maker of the representatives, leaders. ಈ ಒಂದು ಯಡಿಯೂರಪ್ಪ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಬಂದ? ಜನಗಳ ಯಡಿಯೂರಪ್ಪನ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು. ಯಡಿಯೂರಪ್ಪ ತಾನಾಗೆ ಅವನು ಚೀಫ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ತಾನಾಗೆ ಅವರು ಚೀಫ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ದ ಪೀಪಲ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ದ ಯಡಿಯೂರಪ್ಪ, ನಾಟ್ ಯಡಿಯೂರಪ್ಪ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ದ ಪೀಪಲ್. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ದ ಪವರ್ ಲೈಸ್ ಆನ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ಸ್, ಎವ್ರಿ ಪೀಪಲ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಅ ಡೆಮೋಕ್ರಸಿ. So here the elected people from the government, these elected people form the government, not from the, it's form the government, they form the government. How we will elect? As I told, every constituencies that includes many villages in there. In one constituencies there are suppose more than 5 people they have candidates from the different parties. We have to select only one. That means the representative who has more majority of vote, he will be elected as a leader. Then they will become a member of legislative assembly. Suppose in our Karnataka we have 500 constituencies, ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರಗಳು ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಆ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೊಂಥರ ತಾಲೂಕು ಥರ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು ಹಳ್ಳಿಗಳು ಇರ್ತವೆ, ಹಳ್ಳಿಗಳನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಸಪೋಸ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ 500 constituencies. In among that, from each one constituencies will be elected as a one representative. So ultimately, how many MLAs we have? How many members? 500. So they will be sitting in the legislative assembly. So they are called as member of legislative assembly, MLAs. So in among that, the member of means in among that, suppose there are more members from the single party, one party. There are more numbers. That means there are more than 250 members from one single party. Then that party will be considered as ruling party. They are called as a government. They will form the government. They are the ruling party. Remaining members, MLAs, they will form the opposition party. So here the ruling party, they will form the government, and the MLAs in among that 250 or 260 MLAs, they will select one leader for them. So he will be called as a chief minister. Then along with that chief minister and many other governor, along with the chief minister, they will select the other ministers. Education minister, health minister, home minister will be selected there. So then they form the government and they will run the government. In a democracy, the government has to give explanation of its actions and defend its decision to the people. ಅವರು ಎಮ್ ಎಲ್ ಎಗಳಾದರೂ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅವ್ರ ಪಾಡ್ಗೆ ಅವ್ರು ಇಷ್ಟ ಬಂದಾಗ ಇರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ದೇ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಟೇಕನ್ ಬೈ ದ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಎಮ್ ಎಲ್ ಎಸ್, ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ದ ಲಾ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಮ್ ಎಲ್ ಎಸ್, they have to give an answer for the questions which is asked by the people. So people who hold a supreme power, they can ask any question to anybody. On that time, any power holder, they should able to give answer. It's their duty to give answer. If the decisions they are taken by the MLAs, if it is wrong and if it is not favorable for the people, then they should change after the question which is arose from the people. So it's a democracy. That means every people have a power in their hand. So earlier we had a monarchy. It's the second types. First, what we were type of government here, that democracy is the first one. Then there's monarchy. We are discussing about monarchy. Monarchy is another one type of government. Here is a king. King, the only one person in the kingdom holds the supreme power. Only one person. Only one person will control everybody. He may work favor of the people or he may work against of the people. ಜನಗಳಿಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗಲಿ ಅಂತಲೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಅವನು ಕೆಟ್ಟದಾಗಲಿ ಅಂತಲೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಬಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಇಟ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ, the power lies in one person's hand. It's a monarchy. In a monarchy types of government, the monarch means king or queen has the power to make a decision and run the government. He is the only person or she is the only person will have power to make a decision, run the government. Whatever they have to say, it has to be followed by the people and the government. They make a discussion matters with a small group of people, but the final decision makes power remains with the monarch. ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ ಯಾವ ಥರ. ಸೊ ಯು ಮೈಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸೀನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಆಸ್ಥಾನಗಳು, ರಾಜನ ಆಸ್ಥಾನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಜ ಮಧ್ಯ ಕೂತಿರ್ತಾನೆ, ಆ ಕಡೆ ಒಂದು ರೋ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಈ ಕಡೆ ಒಂದು ರೋ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಸ್ಥಾನದ ಕವಿಗಳು, ಆಸ್ಥಾನದ ಮಂತ್ರಿ, ಲೆಕ್ಕಾಚಾರದ ಮಂತ್ರಿ, ಆ ಮಂತ್ರಿ ಈ ಮಂತ್ರಿ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಒನ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಇನ್ ದೇರ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ the king will propose any schemes and programs there. Every minister, they have to accept that. If they oppose also, whatever the king has told, it will become a law. But simply we will make some discussion with them. So that's about the ultimate power lies in a one person hand called as monarch. Unlike the democracy, king and queen have to need to explain or defend their actions in the discussion they make. So here in the democracy, suppose any ruling party member or the chief minister or any minister, education minister, he came up with his own idea to implement in the society to create the better future for the students. Suppose he came up with one new idea, then that person, education minister need to prove and need to convince other ministers to get approval from them. Is not in a democracy, but in a monarchy, the Raja, whatever Raja says, it should become a law. If minister opposes, minister has to get a punishment. Is not, whatever Raja says, it may be good or bad, it should become a law. It's about a monarchy. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಅ ಡಿಕ್ಟೇಟರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಅರ್ಲಿಯರ್. ಡಿಕ್ಟೇಟರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೇನು, ಒಬ್ಬ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಮೊನಾಕಿ ಥರ, ಆದರೆ ಜನಗಳು ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗಲಿ ಅಂತ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ, ಅವನು ಜನಗಳನ್ನ ಸಾಯಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ. ಲೈಕ್ ಹಿಟ್ಲರ್, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಮಿಲ್ಟ್ರಿಗಳು ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಡಿಕ್ಟೇಟರ್ಶಿಪ್, ಅನಾರ್ಕಿ, ಮೊನಾರ್ಕಿ, ಡಿಕ್ಟೇಟರ್ಶಿಪ್. ಸೊ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಮೆನಿ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ನಾವು ದ ಡೆಮೊಕ್ರೆಟಿಕ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಡೆಮೊಕ್ರೆಟಿಕ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್. So India is a democracy as a result of a long and eventful struggle of the Indian people, is not. So here, in getting a democratic form of government, the many people, they have sacrificed their life, and also they have worked hard, they have contributed everything to get a democratic life in India, is not. Before that, the Britishers, they were ruling in India. The other places in the world have also struggled to have a democracies. Not only India, many people, many countries in other world, they have struggled a lot to get a democratic form of government in their countries. The main features of a democracy is that the people have the power to elect their leaders, so it can be called as the rule by the people. Means main power will be there on the every common people, means every people. So they are the supreme holder, they can select the leader. So that means the power lie in the every people, they can rule, means they are the people who rules exactly. So that's somebody who started already the democratic government. About this concept democratic government we will discuss in the next, I will continue that about the democratic government. I hope you understood about till now what we discussed. Thank you, have a nice day.